So let's talk about the Cats movie. You can go there. Hi, welcome back to another episode of My Window is Overexposed and There's Nothing I Can Do About It. And today, of course, we're going to be talking about the Cats movie. So I know I'm late on the train because the movie came out at around Christmas time, but I'm stuck in quarantine and I'm going to do what I want, and I want to talk about the Cats movie. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So most likely you haven't seen the Cats movie because, I mean, look at the box office. Not many people have seen it. A lot of people talk about how terrible it is, but did they really see it? Now, I really saw it. I went in theaters. Oh my god, there's hair everywhere. What is this thing made of? What are you? So you're probably wondering, what's the plot of the Cats movie? I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I've watched it. I watched the whole thing. And I don't know. I don't know what the plot is. It's just the movie just kind of happens and you kind of just learn to accept the fact that it happens. That's the movie. So I'm gonna try to explain what the plot is of this, whatever this is. The movie starts off with the protagonist cat getting thrown out like in a bag and everything. The cat gets thrown out, then all of a sudden a whole gang of cats start coming out of nowhere and then they start singing, of course. But I have to give credit where credit's due. The protagonist cat, which is that cat right there, I think is just as confused as we are throughout the entire movie, which gotta give respect for, connecting with the audience. I respect it. She just kind of accepts that things happen just like the audience, so again, credit where credit's due. But anyway, the cats start talking. The cats don't talk, the cats sing. So anyway, they start singing like, ooh, woo, woo, ooh, new person, ooh. And then they reveal that cats have 3 names. Their human given name, their Jellico names, and then like a 3rd name, which is like, oh, your 3rd name's like, it's in your heart. You can't say it because you don't know it, but you have 3 names. You have 3. And it's like, I don't know, because it's so confusing. Because, like, what Jellicle is never explained. You never know what a Jellicle cat is, other than, like, sacrificial cult. That's, like, all I got from the movie. And then they introduce the villain of the movie, which is just a cat in a trench coat that has magic powers, is a magician. Like, I don't know. Anyway, then you meet the other magician cat, but this one's good, because he's shy and quirky. Alright, so they go to Jenny Any Dot's like house area, and like then she starts singing about like a cat life, you know, like, ooh, I eat food, I sleep, ooh. And then the cockroaches come and sing and dance and march to North Korea. And there's also these baby mice, and it's, ooh, I don't know. I don't know if she was singing, but she's like, oh, I'm not going to eat them because I'm making them dance. And then proceeds to eat one of the cockroaches. It's interesting. What happened next was, like, they went to the streets. They sung a song, and then there's this really, like, I don't know if it was fit and buff or, like, just it was, like, a skinny male cat or whatever. And they go to, like, the milk bar, make a joke about getting neutered. You know, all the classic stuff. But this is also first where we get introduced to the not the evil trenchcoat cat, but the sad lady trenchcoat cat, who is like, I don't know what character she is, the victim. And then like everyone starts hissing at her, which is but yeah, I think then they explained why everyone hated her, but like I didn't understand what they said, and so I never picked up on why they hated her. And it's just like, they just hated her. Anytime she was around, they start like hissing, going, ew, ew. So then they go to the fat cat's house, and he starts singing about, ooh, I love eating food. Then he goes out into the dumpster, eats food, and then he's on like a seesaw thing, about to get launched in the air. The cat jumps on the thing, he doesn't get launched, and then he then suddenly switches gears about like loving being fat and eating food to being sensitive about his weight. And then the evil trenchcoat cat comes back, and he's alone with the fat cat who is sensitive about his weight. He has a whole big old trash can of food, and he's like, jump in. I shouldn't jump in. you make a good point. And he jumps in and he disappears into the void because the trash can doesn't stop at the bottom. It just keeps going down. Everyone runs away, and then the protagonist cat's like, where'd everyone go? I thought and then these two twin cats, I have no idea what they were, but they're like, come with us. And then they break into someone's room and start stealing their jewelry. And then, thankfully, behind a closed door, a dog starts barking, because I am not prepared to see someone on all fours screaming at a door. Then the magician cat, who's like now the protagonist's best friend, because he came back and to get her to make sure she was okay, you know. So now of course they're best bros. Obviously, that's how it works. So they go to the Jellico Ball, and then like everyone's dancing and everything, and then the sad trenchcoat cat's like, everyone hates me for no reason, which is very true. But the protagonist cat's like, I don't hate you, and then sings so the sad trenchcoat cat sings a weird sad song, and then like the protagonist cat sings the same song, but then adds on more to it, making it more positive, I think. But then she runs away anyway. Course, because that's why everyone hates her. She keeps running away. I forget when, but the fat cockroach cat lady, what's her name? Jenny Dots. She gets kidnapped by evil trenchcoat cat, to be specific. And then at the Jellico Ball, we meet this old elderly cat who's like the judge of the ball thing, deciding who lives and who dies. So the whole point of the Jellico Ball is the winner gets reborn into a better life. My favorite part about the ball was the fact that they got Ian McKellen, who plays Gus, and like the most he does, we're first introduced to him standing at like a shelf drinking out of a milk bowl with his tongue, which is like, whew, this man really got paid and accepted this just to do stuff like that. I mean, he sung and everything, but I don't know, he didn't do real much. There's the railroad cat, right? He started singing, and then I think the magician cat sent him to the railroad so he can sing on there, because you know he's a railroad cat. But then he starts spinning really fast and explodes into dust. Got like Thanos out of there. It's pretty funny. And then Taylor Swift cat comes out and drugs everyone with catnip. Yeah. She starts singing, she comes down on the moon, and she goes like, drugs, everyone's high. The reveal of the evil trenchcoat cat's evil plan, not evil plan, but like selfish plan, right? He kind of reveals that I want to be reborn, so I eliminate the competition by killing them all. No, he didn't kill them all. He just teleported them onto a boat. But his evil plan was, if there's no competition to win the Jellico Ball, I win by default. But then the elderly cat was like, no, I'm not gonna choose you. And then he's like, I'm angry, and then takes her to the boat with her. The evil cat takes the elderly cat to the boat, and then starts making her walk the plank, right? Like immediately as soon as he grabs her. And then for like the next 10 minutes, all the other cats are trying to tell the magician cat, hey, bring her back. And she's like, I'm trying, for like 10 minutes. So I don't understand how timing works. Like, how long did she stall walking the plank? She had to stall for like 10 minutes not to go under the water and die. Because, you know, it's a cat and cats don't like water and they can't swim. Basic knowledge. But they're like, come on, magician cat, you can do it. He's like, and then he doesn't do it, and he's like, and doesn't do it, and he does it one last try. He goes, and then nothing happens, and behind him is the elderly cat, which I don't know how that works. I don't know how magic works. So the elderly cat comes back, and then the other cats that he kidnapped, who he tied up onto the boat, they cut themselves loose from the rope somehow, and then they fight everyone. So once they get the elderly cat back, the protagonist cat, right? She goes grab a sad trenchcoat lady. She's like, oh, come on, sing your song. I don't want to. Come on, sing your song. You do make a good point there. And then she sings her song. And then the elderly cat's like,
I have chosen you for sacrifice.
And then proceeds to push her into a hot air balloon. And then she flies into the stratosphere. And that's where the movie... No, that's not where the movie ends. Because then the elderly cat stares directly into the camera and starts talking to the audience for a solid like 5 minutes, which is like the most uncomfortable part. And she's like, make sure you know these things.
Treat your cats right. They got 3 names, not just the one you gave them. They got their human name, they got their Jellicle name, then they got the third secret name, which they can't tell because they don't know it.
I don't know what the plot was. That's just kind of what happened. All right, let's talk about visuals. Because I mean, like, honestly, I don't think visuals could save this movie either, just because, like, the story made no sense. There are also a lot of visual errors in the movie too. Like, in the cockroach scene with the mice and everything, like you see cats like in the background, but there's also like a depth of field on the camera, so like the background was blurred, but all the cats in the background were still sharp. They really just stuck out in the background. There's also scenes where, like, I guess where they rotoscooped something wrong, because, like, I mean, this cat lost their foot privilege. Speaking of feet, you see a lot of cat feet. You see a lot of their feet throughout the movie. Besides the visual errors, the character designs themselves, oh boy, they are bad. It's scary and creepy, and it doesn't work because when you look at that, you don't see a cat. You see a person that vaguely resembles a cat. So when they do stuff like purring against each other and, like, I don't know, it's like they're like rubbing heads against each other, which is like, ugh, God. You don't see two cats rubbing their heads against each other. You see two people rubbing their heads against each other, and it's just, ugh. So the character designs, they don't work. Like, oh my God, they do not work. Besides it being ugly, it'll be fine if they didn't do cat things. The dancing, it was very, like, dynamic and extreme. Like, they moved their bodies a lot and, like, constantly, like, extended everything. The dancing was basically musical dancing, but then they didn't bother changing it and they just made it into the movie. I can see this working as a musical, but a movie, no, it doesn't translate well into movie, especially since I don't think you change much. Like, if you're gonna make it into a movie, you gotta change it. Maybe add more dialogue that explains the plot than songs that like, I don't know. Like, I know it's a musical, but there are too many songs. There is not enough character talking. It is all just blah 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 singing soul. The music was fine. It was alright music. I didn't have a problem with the music, other than the fact they sang every 2 seconds and they barely talked to each other, and all the story was in the songs, and like you like could misunderstand the songs or just not understand what they're singing about. So I'm kind of curious if there are actual fans of the movie, like people like actually watched it and was like, that was a good movie, or if there's like fan art of, ooh. Oh, a little side note, I want to order a physical copy of the Cats movie so I can like hold it and be like, ooh, this is the Cats movie, ooh, woo. You know, but like when I went to go buy it, it was like, oh, nope, pre-order, it's not available until April 7th. Huh? You can download it on digital, but I didn't want it downloaded on digital. I want to have a physical copy so I can say I own Cats and then show them the physical copy and show them what a loser I am. But no, I have to wait until April 7th. Like, is the world going to be around until April 7th? Like, look what's going around in the world. I don't think the world's going to be around until April 7th, which would suck, because then I won't get my physical copy of Cats. So yeah, that was my review of the Cats movie. I know I actually have to go to my Cat movie fan club, because we got a fan club, and that's why I'm dressed like this, of course, because there's a fan club, and I have to go to it, and I'm breaking quarantine to go talk to fans of the Cat movie, because I am a fan of the Cat movie. You are not a fan. You do not own this. I am a fan. Alright, it is time for me to go. I can't breathe in this, by the way, and that's pretty good. Bye.